Alright, so my original plan didn't quite work out. Uh, I thought I was going to have a friend over so we could review two figures in one, which would have been Fireflight and Skydive. But you know what? I'll still let you guys get two figures in one video. But we're going to do it a little different than the original plan. We're going to do these two because they share a mold. It was originally just going to be Fireflight, but I realized I got this guy before I started making unboxing and reviews, so we might as well just get them done together. We'll do Slingshot first because he's the first one I got. He's a good figure. I very much like it. I like this mold. It's very fun. He's a little fiddly. He doesn't like to stand fully because you have to like perfectly center his feet, which I haven't done here. But he still looks great. I love the design. They definitely captured the animation model correctly, except the back kibble on his legs, which I know a lot of people have a problem with. I had a problem with it until I realized the use for it in transformation, and this is probably my second favorite plane mode in my collection outside of Starscream, so I'm okay with it. I don't think it matters too much, and it gives him some stability for the most part. Yes, it's hollow in the legs, but it doesn't really matter. Also, my figure, I've had this for a while, and over time, some bits of it have gotten loose, like the hinges in the legs. But that makes sense. It's over time. And also, when you separate him into arm mode, sometimes he just likes to come apart, like, and not in the intended way. Like he'll just fall off the arm or something. I very much like the two different guns he comes with. I think they look cool. I thought they were actually. When I first got this, I didn't realize he had holes on the side of his arms for the transformation. I thought those were there for the guns specifically, so I always had him displayed with these like this. And I think it looks pretty cool, kind of like Vortex. I think it gives him some personality in the terms of like how he walks around, just with the guns, always ready to fire. I don't know. And I feel like it fits that cocky kind of personality I remember Slingshot having in the cartoon. Now, everything I said about Slingshot applies to Fireflight, but in a much better way because he's very sturdy. I've had him for a bit too, and nothing has gotten loose. He's still solid. All the colors I personally like better. Nothing wrong with Slingshot at all. I love this figure, but I feel like the quality on Fireflight here is a little better, and I feel like he's just overall a better figure. And I think out of all the aerial bots, he's probably my favorite design-wise. I very much like the simplistic colors that also Air Raid had, but they work better here in my opinion because they're more evenly out, plus the extra bits of blue. He's just very visually appealing. Now, I do have him holding the blasters sometimes for like pictures and stuff, but I have him on the like Slingshot here just to have them kind of like look cool together. But you can do whatever you want. They look good either way. But yeah, so the posing's great as well for both of these molds. You can get them in a lot of great poses. They can do the blaster pose that I always do for some reason. I just really like this sort of pose for figures in a blasting position. Yes, the hollowness, you can see it. It is annoying, but like it doesn't bug me too much. And this is another case where also the articulation is great because he has double joints because transformation. He has double jointed elbows, which very much help the shooting poses. But also the way the shoulder works is like Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, where it will go over his shoulder to his face. But I don't think it's nearly as bad here, and you do have options to change that. Alright, let's get some size comparisons out of the way. Here they are with Age of the Primes Air Raid, Age of the Primes Skydive, Age of the Primes Silverbolt. They all look great together, by the way. Like, if you don't want them in combined mode, I would still recommend getting all these because the individual bots are all great. Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, Earthrise Optimus Prime, Studio Series 86 Megatron, Dramatic Capture Series Triple Takeover 3-pack or Earthrise Starscream, Age of the Primes Alpha Trion, Age of the Primes Vortex, Studio Series 86 Long Haul, Studio Series 86 Hook, Studio Series 86 Scavenger, Studio Series 86 Scrapper, Studio Series 86 Mixmaster, And last but not least, Studio Series 86 Bone Crusher. Alright, let's transform them. And here they are. I feel like I used Slingshot for robot mode representation more, so we're going to use Fireflight for plane mode representation more. For the mold, not for the colors. I'll give Slingshot his own time to shine for colors. But in that sense, though, I like Fireflight better. Just the more vibrant colors, the red. It doesn't fully match the plane mode in real life from what I've heard. But this is from a cartoon, so I don't really mind that. But yeah, this mold is great because there's no underside kibble. That's why this is my favorite plane mold alongside Starscream. Like, this is really good. The other aerial bots, Slingshot's also great. He does it better, actually, because you can't really tell because it's all one color. Here you can see it, like, you can kind of tell because the white underneath. But yeah, it looks great. And then Skydive and Air Raid, like, I'll get to that in their review and in comparisons. But their plane modes are a little compromised because they're robot modes. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best plane modes for sure. You can also put the guns underneath, just like Starscream's Null Rays. But again, with Slingshot over time, it's gotten very loose and they don't really fit in as well anymore. But with Fireflight, it still fits perfectly. So yeah, let's get into some comparisons. Age of the Primes Silverbolt. Age of the Primes Air Razor, which then again, there you go. It's very compromised underneath. He kind of looks like a baby Skylynx. But yeah. Age of the Primes Skydive. Same problem. Dramatic Capture Series Triple Takeover 3-pack / Earthrise Starscream. Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Age of the Primes Vortex. Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Earthrise Optimus Prime. Studio Series 86 Megatron. Studio Series 86 Hook. Studio Series 86 Scrapper. Studio Series 86 Long Haul. Studio Series 86 Bone Crusher. Studio Series 86 Scavenger. And last but not least, Studio Series 86 Mixmaster. Alright, let's finish off with Combine Mode. And here they are. Their arms. Okay, bye y'all. No, I'm just kidding. But here they are. I like the skeleton method a lot because you get all the posability out of the arms. I'm not gonna get into that sort of thing until I talk about Superion. But yeah, Silverbolt, not Silverbolt either. Oh my goodness, Slingshot likes to fall off a lot, but I think it's because I've had him like this for a while. Fireflight, as usual, is sturdy. It is supposed to be the wings out like this, but I prefer them like this. I think it makes the silhouette better. But yeah, so nothing real crazy I can really talk about yet till we get into Superion. So till then, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned next week for these two. Bye-bye!